Okay, it's day 24. Stuff is happening fast. As Podesta Group vanishes before our eyes, we are now moving on to Fusion GPS and Glenn Simpson here. Glenn Simpson, if you haven't already seen, is going to be testifying on Tuesday up on for the House Intel Committee, Devin Nunes's House Intel Committee. So here's the three buildings. This is Cannon. This is Longworth, the famous Debbie Wasserman Schultz building. And this is Rayburn, something like Rayburn. It's not quite correct, but there's a middle courtyard in Rayburn, and there's these two C's on the end, so it kind of looks like an O and two C's. One C backwards, one C forwards. Anyway, there's 6 entrances, so he's avoiding service. I'm trying to serve him, and he's avoiding it. There's rumors that he's throwing people under the bus now at Fusion GPS and trying to say he wasn't the architect of this, aspiring, and lots of stuff going on. Immunity discussions, we don't know. It's all a mess right now. But anyway, right now we're just focusing on serving him. He's going to be here Tuesday. I'm not sure exactly what time, but there's 6 entrances, so this is really tough to get personal service. So we'll figure out that. The second thing is, I mentioned this before, I think it's become obvious that there was just a few people inside FBI, like I've said all along, just a very few people that have somehow figured that, well, we'll just go ahead and use the Department of Homeland Security for a private uranium smuggling ring. And we'll do that through all the Navy yards on the East Coast primarily. We'll do it in Texas and California as well, but primarily we're going to use the Navy Yard and DHS and our ability to influence DHS through JTTF to run this Navy Yard uranium smuggling game. And then we'll charge people extra for what goes on or below their uranium, right? So that's really what we have here. So there's this company, Transportation Logistics. This guy's going to be coming up. Lambert's going to be coming up to the Hill. Again, is it going to be behind the curtains testimony again for McCabe? Is it always going to be behind the curtains testimony if McCabe stays at FBI? Is that how we're going to run our government from here on in? Just behind the curtains whispers? Is that how it's going to be? Well, anyway, I am charging that the center of operations of all the Navy yards along this coastline, Cherry Point, and then, of course, you've got Norfolk here, and then you've got Savannah, then you've got Jacksonville, and then Tampa on the other side. All of them are based in the Navy Yard in Charleston as a base of operations, as a center point of operations. And we, of course, have that letter from the CEO of Transportation and Logistics saying that. I, of course, said that on June the 15th. I pointed this illegal uranium operation out. I said that they were using diplomatic containers. I missed the fact that they were probably also using UF6 cylinders, uranium hexafluoride cylinders as well. I probably missed that. But I told the FBI agent here, I told everyone on the broadcast of Clear and Present Danger that they were using uranium as the conduit for shipping illegally inside and out of the United States. Instead of acting on that, of course, these actors, because it was a color of law uranium smuggling operation, turned the tables on me and formed the New York Times and CNN to smear me versus actually taking action, which was, turns out now, everything I said was correct. So, yes, there was 4 containers. They were positive in uranium testing, we now believe. They were moved to Savannah, Georgia, on another ship that was rated for the ability to ship uranium. The Memphis Maersk had no rating whatsoever to ship radioactive materials. Witnesses are coming forward. So this is, there is no choice. I don't have a choice here. If people in our government are breaking away and creating a confederacy of illegal smuggling, this is almost like slave smuggling. This is almost like after the war, if you had a group of people that weren't happy, unhappy Virginians, who decided, we're going to keep slave smuggling going. This is not the FBI. This is a illegal smuggling operation. Only it's uranium instead of slaves. Of course, South Carolina was a place that first shot of the Civil War and so forth. We have to get beyond this mentality that there's some birthright in being a Virginian, and the fact that you were here with George Washington before the formation of our government, and that allows you to form a confederacy anytime you feel like it. This is where I said before, this case is going to become Dred Scott. Everyone says, oh, you're going up against a massive, illegal enterprise. Well, no, it's just a small group within JTTF. And again, Dred Scott, slave, ends up changing and causing the Civil War and completing our country. So it can be done, and this is Dred Scott. And we cannot let this happen. This is kind of like the Confederacy almost breaking away, saying, hey, we're going to do slaves. And the Union saying, no, we're not. We're not going to have illegal uranium trading operations anytime you guys have 4 guys in a JTTF meeting and decide you're kings of the hill. You know, you're the crazy dukes or whatever they call those dukes that you've created. So anyway, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice but file this lawsuit against DHS and JTTF. I don't have a choice. It's going to be Mueller. It's going to be McCabe. It's going to be Comey, of course. It's going to be Rosenstein. And I have to name the witnesses as well. But as I call these witnesses, Lambert and so forth, and people from U.S. Enrichment and the other trucking companies, Saipov and the trucking company down here in Florida, Tennessee trucking companies, this is going to come out. It doesn't matter how many indictments you come out with to put truckers away and gag orders. People are going to say, wait a minute, I'm being unfairly broken down or beat down upon just because you guys are trying to cover an illegal uranium smuggling operation.